Okay, you all, I'm live. Let's have a live stream about credit today and credit changes and some credit conversations, right? The conversation that I had with the very intellectual woman yesterday who's also pursuing business has really been on my mind, and I really couldn't shake it. And so I wanted to just elaborate on some things concerning credit with you all. So we will be hello, boss mommy. You all make sure you hit the thumbs up. This is I will have a live stream on cryptocurrency tonight, but I want to talk about credit right now. In another article, I want to share with you all about the Brooklyn Nets. Hello, Queen Gwen. The Brooklyn Nets. Thank you on Facebook. I already see Facebook with the thumbs up. Make sure and also know that you all can also hit the thumbs up on not only hit the thumbs up on Facebook or I mean YouTube, but you can also share on YouTube as well. And give me 1 second as you all are coming in and saying hello. I'm going to try to I really don't live stream at all on Clubhouse. We got Elijah coming in, but I'm going to try to start doing more things on Clubhouse, and this is why, right? Elijah coming in. Make sure you all hit the thumbs up. I was invited on a Clubhouse room last night. I was really tired. Right? I was really tired. Hello, Cliff. Let me start a room on Clubhouse if I can do this. And I don't even know how to do it. So, how do you even put the title in? I don't know. Share room on Clubhouse. You can share it. Credit repair versus credit restoration is my topic, and so you all can know the difference. I don't even know how to put the title in Clubhouse. I may not have any people to come into the room, but I will start live streaming on Clubhouse more. And this is why I was invited into. Let me see, find someone in the room. Okay, I don't know. I guess I figured it out later. I don't want to take up too much time. But I was invited into a Clubhouse room last night. I was really tired, really fatigued. Have been traveling and doing business moves this weekend, and so I was invited. And I think the topic of discussion for Clubhouse was blacks and Christianity. Right? Someone on Facebook invited me in, and the topic was on blacks and Christianity, right? And and then they asked me to give my opinion, right? So when this Clubhouse started, I heard this one person's opinion, who I'm assuming did not go by the title of Christian, and he was speaking to this young man who did go by the title of Christian, or they was debating. And one of the things they were talking, and I promise you I'm getting into credit, but I'm just going to tell you why I probably will start Clubhouse as well. And so one of the things that they were debating was, and again, I'm tired and fatigued, but I'm listening, was the pagan holidays being celebrated, and you should not worship or cut down and a Christmas tree and et cetera, et cetera. And so the young man that was defending the Christianity, was responding, and they was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so finally said, "Well, someone said you had a queen of crypto in," as I'm trying to adjust my watch. And what's your opinion? And then the first thing they asked me, they said, "Wait a minute, we hear a twang. Are you from the South?" They heard my accent. I said, "I am. I am from the South." And they started, laughing and everything. And so, long story short, I said, "Well, my thing, okay, I do have one person, and I have a pastor on Clubhouse. So, okay, pastor, thank you for tuning in. I see one person in on my Clubhouse account." And and as they were debating this, right? They were debating this about Christianity and what Christians are not doing, and should blacks, is Christianity the religion for blacks? I said, well, I think it's important that you don't really just bash, or it's more important of not bashing the Christmas tree or Christmas or Easter, but rather to find out why these pagan holidays are celebrated. And if you look into the Bible, you will find a lot of astrology, right? He says something about zodiac. Um, you'll find a lot of astrology. You'll find a lot of numerology. And I said, what's more important, you'll find a lot of Kemet spirituality. Now, this is what stood out to me. There were over 800 people on this clubhouse because they were hungry for the truth of spirituality. And it let me know how hungry people are for the spiritual truth, right? And so I said, look, I wanted to make this short because I am tired. I told them I was tired. I said, but I'm going to explain it this way. The reason why December the 25th is the date celebrated as the son's or God's birth is because beginning the first day of December, the sun begins an ascending pattern, right? With the earth, it begins a ascending pattern, right? It begins to lower itself as the seasonal changes. And then on the days of the 24th, 25th, this sun begins to rise up, right? If you study astrology, the sun begins to rise up at the 25th at the highest peak. So it creates a southern cross. And this is why December the 25th is celebrated if you study and you know astrology. And immediately the host says, well, listen, we don't think you believe in the Bible, ma'am. And I'm going to ask you I'm going to take you out of the room and we're going to end this. I said, wow. So I don't believe in the Bible because I was explaining to them why the death and the Southern Cross, if you study astrology, is in the month of December. And the dates of December 22nd, 23rd, 25th, the sun is descending. It makes an eastern and west movement, and it descends and descends and descends. And then on the 25th, it begins to rise. And this is why that day to celebrate. Now, do I believe in the Christmas tree, the buying of presents? No, I do not. But I was trying to explain that the sun in the Bible is related to the sun, right? And a lot of them don't even know Jesus, if you study ancient Egyptians, is that name converted is in the ancient Egyptians is not Jesus, right? The letter J is only 400 years old, so it actually begins with a Y. And I think once people get into astrology and they understand this, then you will understand, right, that the kingdom of heaven was within you. So I may do some more videos on that because people are really hungry for the true knowledge of spirituality. So that took me like 10 minutes to get that out, right? And so let's get into credit, right? I think I'm going to start first. Gwen says she's hungry for spiritual truth. A lot of people are, and this is why this is important. Because in 3 months, you're going to have to see some things that I'm talking about spiritually, right? Spiritually, she says everyone begins to, and you're going to have to understanding. You're going to have spiritual eyes in this time like never before. Bishop says, no, Bishop, even though I love that name, right? I do love that name. But when you go to ancient Egyptians, and let me make sure that I have this correct. That's why I paused before I got into it. In ancient Egyptians, the original Kemet language is Yeusa. It's not Yahweh. It's not Yahweh or Yeshua. and it's actually spelled IUSA, right? And what they did was the letter I. They did it like the Nike symbol. Like this almost looked like a Nike swoosh. I'm kind of glad I had this shirt on, right? It kind of looks like a Nike swoosh. So what they did with the I was added that curve, like an inverted Nike swoosh, and they made the letter J. But the ancient Egyptians, that name was IUSA. Yeusa was the pronunciation. And then Greek came, or Hebrew made it Yeshua, right? Yeshua. And then the Greek students changed it as well. So it wasn't on terms of a external God coming to save you, but rather the formula to empower you to understand that the kingdom of God is within you and within yourself. IUSA, if you want to do your own research and know their original name. Wealth Builder says, "What's my?" You know what you are. I don't know. I really don't know my Clubhouse link, but there were so many people hungry for that. I said, "Well, let me start teaching this on Clubhouse. Maybe I can let me email it to myself because listen, I'm gonna be honest. I created a Clubhouse account like months ago, and then I heard that it was just so much fictitious stuff. You know, everybody was an expert on Clubhouse. Everybody was a millionaire, and it was just too congested. And so I decided I would not live stream on Clubhouse. So after last night, I was like, these people are hungry for and thirsty for knowledge. Right. Thank you, Marquell, for the 1111 Cash App already. Thank you so much, Marquell. And so this is the link that I have on Clubhouse. So I probably will start doing more of the spiritual information on that Clubhouse. But this is the link. I just emailed it to myself. And thank you, Crown Goddess. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Crowned, is it Goddess? And on Clubhouse, I don't even know how to put the title of what I'm talking about on there. For the $9.99 super chat, right? For the $9.99 super chat. And yes, okay, so I shared, this is my Clubhouse link, right? And I'm going to share some things with you all about the spiritual that you need to manifest your money, right? To manifest your money. That those are the areas that most churches come short in. They teach people to give, but they don't teach them the manifestation part. So let's get into credit real quick because I did put that as my title, so I didn't mean to go on a rant that long. And I'm definitely doing videos tonight on crypto. Remember when I told you all earlier that we will move to a social credit score, social credit scoring, and that derived from China, right? That China does social credit score, and that you're going to see more of this in the States, in the United States, right? And that especially you see now Facebook is doing a lot more fact checks. Facebook, if you are saying something that they feel is against the community standards, they are more prompt to not allow you to post for days, right? Now more than ever. So when I came across this article, right, I was ready to share it. The Brooklyn Nets owners will use character, not credit scores. Listen at this. For a 2.5 million loan program that helps Black businesses. Wow. The Brooklyn Nets owners will use character, not your credit score. This was June 24th, right? Release. For a 2.5 million loan program that helps Black businesses. NBA owners Joe and which are, I'm assuming they're from China based off their names, or Chinese descendants, or connection, or Asian Americans. Joe and Clara Wu to say TSAI, I may be mispronouncing it, will use money from the 50 million social justice fund for a new 2.5 million loan program. Accelerate will provide relief loans up to $100,000 for minority owned businesses in Brooklyn. Accelerate, EXCEL, Excel, Accelerate. Wow. So the owners, right, which they look Asian or Chinese related or descendants, are pictured here, right? So now you have Brooklyn Nets owners are taking the next steps to distribute money from a 50 million commitment to help minority communities. The sports owners created 2.5 million loan program that targets Black-owned businesses impacted by the C word, right? The money derives from the To Save, or I may be mispronouncing it again, TSAI Foundation Social Justice Fund, which was established last year, which aims to combat economic inequalities in Black communities. The new loans are a part of Accelerate program catered to owners with credit scores listed 620 or below. But though applicants will not be judged on scores, business owners need to be character-based eligible. Hence, they'll need to have good references to secure their loan. There are two types of loan programs: rapid recovery loan officers, immediate funds up to $15,000 and no interest attached. These loans are for businesses that stayed open during the pandemic, but they need capital for new equipment, renovations, rent, or leases. The restart, notice the terminology. I've been telling you all about the restart and the great reset. Loan is for business owners who temporarily close or reduce hours during the pandemic. Well referenced, this is the key. Applications can apply up to $100,000 at 2% interest to help restart and normalize operations. And repayments depend on the success of the business. When the money from the 2.5 million program is repaid, it returns and become eligible for new loans. Interest made from these loans will be used for administrative costs. And people, this is directly targeted to Black-owned businesses. Character credit lending, based on your character, based on your referrals. Now, do you think that you or they will not also utilize your social accounts to see what you post? Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. They will definitely not just take the referral letters from people that recommend you or highly refer you, but they definitely will look at your social accounts that you have, whether it's through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc., etc. Yes, YouTube watcher, you're probably just not joining in. I did already mention the social credit score in China. And I told people when I really was focused on teaching credit last year, when I was teaching credit, that this will come to the United States, and here it is, right? And it's amazing how people will label, me or other people that's been educated in this, because they are futuristic, and they can see the changes as conspiracy theories. But now you're saying it wasn't all of what you thought. It wasn't all of a conspiracy theory, I guess, profile, as many of you all thought it was, because now these things are coming to light. So the applicants needs local community members for references, right? The loans will not require collateral or guarantee. And these are for people that's under a 620 credit score. All you need is local community members referencing you. Again, believe me, they will look at your social media accounts. Now, some of you all may be saying, well, I don't, that's why I don't do social media. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Instagram. Um, but I want you to think, for most people, this is their means of communication with friends and family and loved ones, especially when it gets to the time that um, we have to quarantine because they're saying that this virus or this health pandemic requires that. So most people will have those social media platforms, right, in order to communicate and also to keep in for media information. For media information, and I believe that more jobs, more marketplace jobs, will require people to have some either on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram because the social credit scores will look at what you post. Also, maybe your insurance, for example, if you're driving and you have insurance, and your insurance company will be able to look at your social media and see your behavior, such as are you posting where you're drinking a lot, right? Or posting pictures with alcoholic beverages in your hand, and that will affect your insurance premiums as well. And this is specifically targeted to Black businesses from the Black Nets owners. So they're starting with the Black community first, right? And I can see why, in a sense, because minority have the lowest average credit scores. And so they are targeting people and they say, okay, if you have good behavior and if you have a 620 credit score or below, you can get references for people within the community. And we look at your social media and we feel like you're not educating the masses against something that the media is saying about what's going on, about this economic shift. If you're being a good boy or a good girl, we'll reward you with some money, right? We'll reward you with some money. And so even with people that don't have social media accounts, right, you're still going to have to get the references of people, your neighbors. And don't think for 1 second that your cell phone does not spy on you. Don't think these smartphones, right, that they don't have systems set up where your smartphone is not spying on you. Have you ever had a conversation, for example, on your cell phone, and then you logged into Facebook or Instagram, for example, and that very conversation that you was having, maybe it was about traveling somewhere, going somewhere, and now it pops up on your timeline. Hey, save on a 7-day trip to Vegas. You just tell your friend, I would love to go to Vegas this summer. I need a getaway. As soon as you get on social media, that advertising and marketing pops up. So don't think, well, I'm glad I'm in the clear. That's why I don't do social media. Yeah, but your phone is being used as a spy mechanism as well. They have their ways. They have their ways. They have their ways. So the second thing I want to get into is what I do or what I did. I'm going to be honest. I have not, I'm probably a little rusty. I'm talking about credit. I have not talked about, I had not focused on it. But again, I had a conversation with a very intelligent Black woman yesterday, and it just, she told me she's 48 years of age. She has a fiance. Both of them believe in just using cash. You don't want to use credit. Her mother instilled in her at an early age to just cut up your credit cards. Don't use your credit cards. You don't need those, right? And she's saying, now, Queen, my fiance and I want to purchase a home. We're tired of renting all our life. And I'm 48 years old, and my credit profile looks as if it's that of a 1 or 2 year history. Now, don't think she's the only one, because if you're a person that ever got a credit sweep, what is a credit sweep? A credit sweep is when you hire someone or you found out how to do it yourself to totally erase all negative, right, all negative accounts associated with your credit, and you had no positive accounts posted. That's a credit sweep. When they say, okay, we can get this done within 30 to 40 days. Some people promote 15 days. And this is what hurts, because it's just like in my background, this blank sheet of paper. This is where it positions you. So, in essence, a person with no credit is just it's just the same position with a person with bad credit. Let me say that again. A person with no credit, no creditable history, that you can be a good consumer and pay back, is just as bad as a person with bad credit. It's an old saying. It says you don't. Well, I'm gonna make up this saying because I can't remember the old one exactly. So I'm gonna make this one up. You don't cut your entire foot off, right? Because you have a toe ache, right? You don't cut your entire hand off because you have a finger ache or ailment. And you don't cut up your credit cards because, right, you are feel like, or you may be irresponsible with your credit cards. Now, the only time it will behoove you or benefit you to cut up those credit cards when, look, they are just gone. It's Queen, I messed them up. It's charge off status. The account is closed. Okay. Hey, the account is closed anyway. But even if you have late payment history, right? And you're trying to get back on track and you want to pay that credit card down or even off, you have now the opportunity to build new credit. And this is what I tell people all the time. Another thing, as I get into now, the difference between credit repair and restoration. Gwen says my old videos are still fire. Thank you so much, Gwen. She said she was watching them today while you was working on credit. Okay. I even put on my Queen of Credit t-shirt today. I had to feel like the Queen of Credit. It's this. A lot of people say, oh, see, this company, we don't do credit repair. We do restoration. We restore credit. Well, in order to restore credit, it had to be at some point good in the first place. So I mean, restore means to reestablish or to bring back into existence. That's not everybody's story. There are some people who have no credit history at all. And there are some people who've never had good credit. They function all their life with a credit score under 620 or under 630. And the biggest motive for them to get good credit was either to get a vehicle or to try to be a home buyer, which neither one of those to me should be your primary reasons for using credit, because you are investing in things that are liabilities, not assets. Your credit, point blank, should be used to purchase assets. Now, have I used my personal credit to a personal vehicle? Yes, I have. Have I used my personal credit to get my personal resident? Yes, I have. But I've also used my personal credit to convert it into business credit so that I can get residential real estate, not just residing real estate. Residential real estate for renters. For renters. So I'm getting real estate to have tenants to rent so I can get passive income. Right? See, people, the only way you're going to make it in this life financially is that you have to get to a point where you are investing in things that can give you passive income that eventually exceeds your monthly expenses. There are many types of incomes. You got portfolio income, you got earned income, you got royalty income, you got passive income. See, it's more than one type of income from a job, right? A job is just one type of income. And you know what? That's all most of you all have. And so you're fighting a war with just one bullet in your arsenal. And you're not going to win this financial war like this. Not when the United States is on a credit based system. What do you mean by credit based system, Queen? Well, in 1971, the dollar became debt. So whether you got to have a plastic credit card or paper cash, both of them are on the debt based system. The only thing is the cash takes 30% of interest through taxes, and your credit card may charge you 18%. But if you had good credit, pretty credit, you can get it at 0%. So a lot of people go on, see my company, we restore credit. Well, to restore means to reestablish and bring back to an existing state. Some people never had it. Recovering things, that's restoring. Repair is the act of repairing something, right? The act is to put it back into good working order, to fix, to improve damaged condition, to mend. See, I can tell you I do credit restoration and I can just help you remove a collection. But if you don't have any pre-existing positive credit, your credit can still not be in good working order. To repair means to restore in working order, in good working order, to fix, to improve a damaged condition, to mend. So this is the difference. This is what repair looks like with me, right? I don't use iCloud. I don't use I don't tell you to log into an identity. I just, I don't tell people, look, all I want to do, you create this username and password and you log in your account. And then you can see if the negative accounts have been updated or deleted. I don't do that. This is why. This is your credit. You need an education behind it. You're going to have to get 10 toes down involved and me consultation you with credit. Because this is why. When you don't know the why behind something, right, you'll always be in a state of slavery and you will never be empowered. Well, Queen, why do you tell people to get an account with Credit Karma and Experian? Because Experian can let you know how many addresses are reporting to your credit report. Credit Karma gives you that as well. But this is why I like and love Experian. Experian will let you know also what addresses is connected to negative accounts, such as your student loans, such as that charge off, that collection, that bankruptcy. Oh, see, 111 Main Street, St. Louis is connected to my bankruptcy. So if I get the address deleted, then that makes that bankruptcy easier, or that charge off or that collection easier to get deleted. And it also, for the life of your credit profile, disconnect that account from that address. But see, as long as you keep that address reporting, even though that negative account may say it's deleted, if your credit can always backtrack to that address at any time, any person, any lender can find that negative account. So it's not really deleted, right? Unless the address is deleted. Number 2, Credit Karma. Well, I love Credit Karma. I tell people, if you want to work with me, these steps you got to take. You're not just going to create a username and password and log into an iCloud account or a Identity IQ account or whatever software. I don't use those softwares. I don't. Right? dispute manager, all of this stuff. I don't do that. You're going to have to learn things about your credit so you don't get back into this current condition again, and you won't be dependent on people to fix your credit every 2 years. You need to learn the game and learn how to play it. This is your financial life, your credit. Your credit is going to stay with you until you die. Your credit, your social security number, those three numbers, good or bad, unless this credit system from FICO converts over to DeFi through cryptocurrency, which it will, but I can't tell you if that's going to definitely be 2022 or it's going to be 2023 and 2024. But as of today, 2021, June 28th, we are on FICO, Fair Isaac Corporation credit-based system. And it's going to stick with you, stay with you until you die. So Credit Karma allows you to look at your statement due dates on all of your credit cards. Now, this is why I promote and I love credit cards, right? This is why I promote and I love credit cards. The Bible says, the book about banking, aka the Bible says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And I do not do credit consultation repair through an MLM or network marketing company either. I'm a teacher at heart. I'm going to email you directions on what you need to do, what accounts you need to create. We are co-workers in your credit health process together. I do not do it through, even though I am affiliated with the network marketing company that does it, but I don't do it that way. I do it my way. That's why they call me the queen of credit, or used to anyway, when I was talking about it. And so your statement dates, it's better to pay your credit cards on your statement dates versus the due date. When you get a statement in the mail, like I'm showing, it's going to have payment due date on it, right? And it is better to pay it on the statement date versus the payment due date. It will keep you in a higher credit score range. The next thing that credit restoration does is inform or educate people to get a secure credit card. The worst thing you can do. Getting a secure credit card automatically push you in a lower credit profile as a low-end lender. That's why you can't get a lot of the high-limit credit cards when you have a secured. Now, there are sometimes like with Navy Federal that you can get a secured credit card and then they will upgrade you to an unsecured credit card. That's the only time I recommend that you do that. But going out getting secure credit cards, no. The other thing, buying authorized user accounts. It would benefit you better to get primary trade lines in your name, right? And I'm going to be honest with you all. I'm rusty. I have forgotten exactly what primary trade lines I used to talk about, but again, you can get on my YouTube channel. Now it's the Queen of Credit. It used to be Queen of Crypto. I've done hundreds of videos. I'm rusty. But when I do upload this video on YouTube, in the description, it will have links to those primary trade lines. Click on those links. Primary means it's mine. I'm not borrowing anyone's credit through by being an authorized user on someone else's credit line. This is mine. Primary trade lines. They are not credit cards, but they are trade lines. That's easy approval when people are in the repairing process, and they offer high credit limits, some 5,000, 10,000, and 15,000. And you get these trade lines, and then when you apply for the Visa, the MasterCards, the Discover, the Amex, American Express, You have trade lines that you have handled responsibly, and they will, Visa, MasterCard, Amex, Discover will look at, okay, you already have a $5,000 account with my Jewelers Club, for example. That's one that I used to talk about. So we're going to match that $5,000 credit limit and get you approved for an unsecured credit card. Unsecured means that you don't have to secure the card by having a deposit in it, a bank deposit. You know, a secure credit card says, okay, if you deposit 500, we'll give you a $500 credit limit, right? If you deposit 1,500, we'll give you a $1,500 credit limit, right? Your cash deposited into that account is the collateral that you will not default. But again, I highly suggest that people do not get unsecured credit cards, because your credit profile, will be then marked as at or low risk user, meaning that you will only get you won't get the $25,000 personal Navy Federal card because you have a $1,500 secured credit card. I teach people about this. Also, the advantages of having a zip code, right? A zip code in which the average credit scores is 750 or higher, right? Thank you, Gigi Son. Thank you, Hun. Thank you, Queen, for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Now, this is why this is important, because not only are the shift going to character credit score profiling, right? But you also have geographical credit score profiling. It does not matter how good your credit score is. If you live or your zip code is in a geographical location where the average person credit score is averaging 640, you will not get the higher credit limits. So, you know, in that case, if you have family or friends, family members that live in a zip code, and you can definitely research this. They have not only states with the highest credit scores averaging. I think Wyoming is within the top 5, for example, right? But you can type in a zip code on Google, and you know, if your zip code is 39 or 111 or 46111, you can type in the average credit score for a zip code and put whatever zip code you're in, right? And for many minorities, because they have lived in zip code areas that have a low average credit score, does not matter how high there was, they have not been able to get the higher credit limits. Now, these two things pass on generational wealth, and I'm going to discuss this, and I'm going to answer Ryan's question on YouTube, Jupiter. Any advice on getting a credit card for a new business? I will answer that, Ryan. But these are the only two things that you can pass on generational. Well, no, it's not the only two things. I take that back. It's about 4 things that can pass on generational wealth. But credit is one of them. The only way to do that is through credit cards, right? You can pass on generational wealth through real estate. You can pass on generational wealth through physical silver or gold. And you can pass on generational wealth through paper, like cryptocurrencies, right? Cryptocurrency or maybe stocks. But the number one thing I want to teach people, this is why Dave Ramsey advice has hurt people and minorities so bad about cutting up their credit cards. Because in the credit world, right, your child, your son or your daughter cannot inherit your 750 or 800 credit score. However, they can inherit your credit card history. And credit card history is the only way to do this. Credit cards is the only way to pass on generational wealth through credit. It's the only way. If you have been responsible And if you've had a credit card since the age of 18 and you've been paying on that credit card and it has good history, you can add your children as early as birth, right? I was saying yesterday, doesn't matter, 2 weeks old, 2 months old, 2 years old, as an authorized user to that credit card. And that child from infancy can start being, or that history will pass on to your child, right? They can be a recipient, that's the word I was looking for, of your good credit card history. Now, if you don't have good credit card history, don't put your child on there, right? As soon as I found this out, I did this for my daughter. When she was at an age to have a credit profile, which was the age of 18, to create a Credit Karma account, a Experian account, and to start having a report or credit profile, she automatically started with the over 800 credit score because she inherited my good credit card history. And the only way to do this is through credit cards. This is why I try to educate you all the healthy way to use credit cards, because if you cut them up and you don't use them, like Dave Ramsey suggests, you are denying the opportunity to pass on good credit to your children's and maybe your children's children. So we have to reverse these things, right? Instead of giving or allowing our children to inherit bad credit by adding them or putting their name on a utility bill, and then you don't pay that utility bill, you move and you don't pay it and you don't keep it in good standing, and now your child has a charge off of utility bill reported on their credit at the age of 18. Now you've just did the reversal and allowed your child to be a recipient of poor generational credit and credit habits, where you can do the reversal by just getting an education and information and allow them to inherit good credit, right? The best thing I've done for my daughter, whether directly or indirectly, whether she's in the home when I'm live streaming, I'm talking about it, is to teach her about credit and to add her as an authorized user on my good credit cards. So that when she's 18 or 19 and she sees a rental property that she wants to invest in, or maybe a vehicle for transportation so she can go make money, right, at a job or with a business, that she's in a position where she can get 0% interest rate or the lowest interest rate possible as she's building her credit. And now I can teach her to use and leverage credit, right, to get assets in life and not just liabilities. See, you have to think bigger with your credit than those three numbers. Then I just want a house and I want a personal vehicle. You have to think bigger than that, right? Do you know there are people that are using their credit to get rental vehicles where now you can go on Turo? I think it's Turo or Turo, the app, one of the apps, where you can take out the middleman, right? And you can directly rent your vehicles, right? So you can use your credit, purchase a vehicle. My friend guy just purchased a slingshot, right? $30,000 slingshot. He said he rents it out, rent it to people for use from an average of $250 to $300 a day. And that's how you take something that would have been a liability to you, where you're just paying a vehicle note. Now it's an asset because now you're getting cash flow from it, right? So whether you want to do your own vehicle business, let me tell you, right now is the perfect time to have a mindset to use your credit to invest and to get assets, because there are so many things you can do out here that takes out the traditional middleman that people used to have to go rent from, right? You don't have to go rent at the airport anymore. You don't have to go to rent a car. These big businesses changed. People can rent out vehicles and they can use them for both pleasure, right, and business use, because vehicles depreciate in value anyway, right? Instead of just getting a personal home to live in, what about using your credits for rental property? Now, credit cards, the only financial tool to do that. But please start, if you don't have any credit cards, start with primary accounts versus getting secured credit cards. You will be forever flagged as a low credit profile lender, right? Wealth Builder, thank you so much, says thanks, right? Um, Someone says very informative, thank you. Credit plummeted due to closing a business. You give her hope. Now back to the question on, yeah, a few cars on the market that graduate to unsecured. Okay. Antonio says that I know Navy Federal is one of them. And again, you all want to come in and let me know, because it has been a while since I've taught on credit, right? I'm not saying that I'm as sharp mentally about the credit game as I used to be. Now, about business credit. Someone asked about business credit cards. Um, Make sure your personal credit is up to par. You will want on your personal credit a high limit credit card, as high as whether it's $10,000. Now, these are some ways that authorized users will help you when you're trying to get business credit cards and your personal credit cards are in good standing. They're healthy. However, they're low credit limit. Maybe you have a $5,000 credit card, right? You don't have. Give me a second. On Clubhouse, you don't have a high limit credit card, right? You want to get that business credit. Okay, I'm still on Clubhouse, just making sure. Now, someone maybe with a 25,000 Navy Feds, okay, I'll add you as an you for 3 months. But I do not recommend this for people who just trying to get a regular vehicle and a regular car. This is only, to me, a tool for people that's trying to get business credit, because you do know now that when they look at your credit profile and that 25,000 Navy Federal card is reporting, um, they know that this is the AU, authorized user, that this is not your credit card, that you have no access to it, no account. So when it came to mortgage lending, this strategy was not useful anymore, right? It was maybe 5 years ago, right? Especially after 2008, during the mortgage crisis. 2009, 2010, you can get added as an AU. 2011, you can go, it'll boost your credit score over the 700s in some cases. You can go get approved for that mortgage. But that has long ended. And this is when the new FICO model began to come out. The FICO 10, the FICO 9, FICO 10. They wanted to stop that and prevent that. And then they even came out with some rules and regulations that if it's not a family member, right, you could not add anyone outside of a family member, a spouse, or a child as an authorized user. So if you're paying for an authorized user for the purposes of purchasing your first home or vehicle, those days are over with. Now, this is where it will help. You have good credit, but you have a $5,000 Visa card or etc. You don't have a high credit limit. Well, if you get someone with a high credit limit only, not just, well, now I'm not saying only, but they have to have, no late payments for the last 2 years. The credit card must be, and you want history. You want 7 years or 10 years history of that this credit account has been open. And so if they have a high credit limit, they ask you as an AU, once you have positioned yourself to apply for a business credit card, they will look at, okay, it's a 25,000 credit limit reporting, so we'll give them a 25,000 Bank of America or Chase credit card, right? Now this is the thing, and again, this is coming off some rusted memory, but You cannot or will not get approved for a business credit card if within 2 years you have a collection reporting, a bankruptcy, or charge off, or you have 5 or more inquiries from Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion within 2 years. You will not, right? You will not get approved for a business credit card. Also, you need to have your business corporation established with its tax ID number. So either LLC, which is what most new business people usually begin with, and sometimes are in a corporation or corporation, right? Get those things in place, get your business name. And it used to be this big myth out there that you can get approved for business credit without using your personal credit. That is not true, right? If that's the case, everybody can go open an LLC or a corporation in their state and just use your tax ID number and apply. And there'll be a fluctuation of credit cards out here, right? They're going to look at your personal credit to see if they trust you, especially if you're trying to get a 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 25,000 business credit card to do business, because business credit cards want to give you the higher credit limit because they understand that business transactions are on a higher amount than what, or should be, or normally would be, than what your personal shopping sprees would cost. So they want to give you those larger trade lines and credit cards so that you can do have the breathing room and breathing space of buying the things that you need to operate in your business and make those purchases. Now, there are some business cards that will report on your personal credit score, and there are some that will not. You need to know which ones do and which ones don't. I offer that to my credit clients as well, or I did offer that information to my credit clients. And I recently had some people to reach out to me, based off my old videos, now more than ever, about credit repair. And this is why I know that people are needing that, because the eviction moratoriums are ending in July this summer. And so if you have not been paying where it was not reported on your credit report for those, your rent or your mortgage or your student loans, now it's going to start hitting and reporting. And so with the new landlords, of course, if you have to find somewhere else to live, whether it's renting or find another home, or maybe your current home may go through foreclosure. And then some people just need to build their credit because they need to refinance to keep their homes, right? Moratoriums ending next month. I'm behind so many payments. I need to get my mortgage refinanced, right, and put those late payments on the back end of it. So their credit has to be credit worthiness to do that. So I know this is why I'm getting more people reaching out to me more now than credit, because as long as they had the free money and the federal unemployment, which is ending for a lot of states. And did you all see, for example, the California is now requiring for people to continue to receive their unemployment and EDD, that they have to show proof that they're looking for jobs. If they don't show proof, they're going to cut off the EDD unemployment. So these are things that's causing people to reach out to me now, even though I still teach about crypto, to help them, assist them with their credit. Thank you so much, Gigi. Antonio says on YouTube that they got smart with trade lines and it's getting shut down. Yeah, a lot of the AAU has stopped reporting a long time ago. And trade lines. So when he's talking about trade lines, he's talking about the I think My Jewelers Club. I don't know if they're still doing it now. I will do some research. Oh my God, it wasn't just My Jewelers Club though. It was two other primary trade lines that I were educating people about to add, because it reported to all three credit agencies as well. But they've gotten smarter with trade lines as well as AU authorized users, right? Um, Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you so much. Ryan says, thanks, sis. You nailed it for me. Business is in good standing and a high spending of 20K a month, but I couldn't get approved for a business card or figure out why. So maybe it was your inquiries, maybe too many inquiries. Maybe you didn't have a high personal credit card with a high enough credit limit. Maybe you, within the last 2 years, maybe had a late payment charge off or collection. Those are usually the top three. Um, and then, it's a strategy and how you apply, meaning that usually people, when they apply for business cards, they just try to apply for them all within a 24 to 48-hour time period, because they know if they accumulate too many inquiries, that that'll be an automatic denial. Oh, thank you, Laura. She said My Jewelers Club and New Coast Direct. That was one of the other primary trade lines that I was educating people about a year ago. My Jewelers Club, New Coast Direct, and it's another jewelry, a higher primary trade line. Again, when I end this video and upload it, it was showing a description. That one was for about $10,000. I know that My Jewelers Club and New Coast Direct started you out at about 5,000. At about 5,000. So look at that in my description. Let me see if I can find it real quick. That other trade line, because I don't know. Let me look at my emails. And I'll see if I can pull it up real quick. Some people they don't have a big enough. I know these are, again, I have to check with these. Two of the links that I used to share. I think those are, but it was another one that was $10,000. Again, I go back and look. This was just, let me educate people about credit. Impromptu video, but it was another trade line. And again, once I end this video, I know on YouTube it'll automatically be in the description, so you might need to go back if you're on any other platform like Facebook, or maybe you're watching me listen to this on Clubhouse. Go to my YouTube, Queen of Credit. Queen of Crypto. Credit. I changed the Queen of Crypto, and look into the description of the video, and it'll have that third trade line, because I can't find it and I can't think of it right now off the top of my head. So yeah, so that's what I want to share with you all about credit. Join me tonight. I want to big things and about crypto, Bitcoin, predictions of Bitcoin reaching 160,000, right? This year, we want to discuss that. Another prediction of Doge to $1. Shiba Inu raised 17% after Elon Musk tweet. So we're going to do some crypto things later on this evening. I'm not going to give you a time, so make sure you're subscribed to me on YouTube, and by that subscribe button, hit the bell notification button as well, so you can get notified when I'm live streaming. And another thing I want to share with you all. I talked to you all about universal basic income as well. I saw this article on Yahoo Finance that right now there is a petition. Okay. Let me answer this on credit. Was it AG Jewelers, Sean? It was another jewelers. Let me look real quick, Sean. What was the name of that jewelry trade line that I used to tell people about? But there's a petition right now, over 2 million signatures for 2,000, right? 2,000 dollars for monthly pay. I told you all about universal basic income as well. And let me see, was it AG Jewelry? Let me look. I don't know, but that it may be AG Jewelers, right? It may be. I'm not saying it. Definitely, it is. But I definitely will look into that. And the next live stream I do on credit, I will have it all together by then. But it may be. I think that name does ring a bell, Sean. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. Um, yeah. Okay. Thank you. AG Jewelers still offers 10. I think it was. Thank you both of you all, both of my kings. I think it was AG Jewelers, right? I think it was. So they're still offering a 10,000 primary trade line. So the link should be in my description. Oh, okay. Yeah, I found it. Here it is. See, that's why a queen always needs her kings. New Coast Direct is not okay. So New Coast Direct is old. New Coast Direct is old. But that's the link for AG Jewelers. If you're on my YouTube live chat, that should come through. Um, that's it. Thank you, Kings. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping me out. And so that's 10,000. So I mean, look, get approved for AG Jewelers. Reports to all three. For example, this is example scenario. Keep it for 3-4 months. Then you start applying for your own personal credit cards, and that they will normally mirror your largest credit limit. And this is what positions you to get those larger credit limits. Um, Give me 1 second about digital pay. Give me 1 second because my mind is everywhere. Okay, so that's it. Now, let me say this real quick, and I love Cass. I will answer that question. I am still doing some credit consultations for those people. My website is www.fixmycreditandcash.com. Please, when you go on, read everything in full detail, right, about the process or the process, right? Yes, I do accept Cash App. My and let me just share my website with you that way I can walk you through it, and Clubhouse can listen as well. So this is my website, and you select the fourth tab, credit help, on fixmycreditandcash.com, fixmycreditandcash.com. Go to custom credit analysis. It's a buy now button. Need credit help? Start here. Follow the next steps to receive a credit analysis or consultation. Everyone has a different credit profile, so I give customized credit analysis. There's a $125 small investment for this. Submit payment here. It does have my Cash App link as well. But because it is Cash App, include your name and email address in the notes section. However, I only use this tri-merge report. So you can click on that link to pull your credit report. And then please allow me, now this is up to 5 business days. It probably now, because I'm not as flooded with credit like I used to be, can be up to 3 business days, right? But when I was flooded with credit, I would just ask people, give me 5 business days, right? Thank you, Antonio. He says, my picture is looking. Thank you so much. So it may be 4 business days. So that's it for that. I'm logging off. That's all I have. But tune in. Oh, the last thing I'm sharing, as I see people are logging off as well, my numbers are getting lower, is that a petition with over 2 million signatures calls for 2,000 monthly stimulus for every American. Remember, I was telling you all last year about we will get to a point where there will be UBI, Universal Basic Income stimulus. I'm not expecting this to happen until next year, however, right? But 2 million people have signed, and it was started by Stephanie Bonin, a Colorado restaurant owner, and posted on change.org, right? I do not see a fourth stimulus coming this year, right? The child tax credit is all it's going to be. And definitely moratoriums will begin nationwide next month. You all are welcome. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you so much for those kind words. Sadly, it won't happen because we will be lucky to get another stimulus along 2000. I think the universal basic income will happen because a lot of these jobs are replacing people, and they know that there will be high unemployment. And the thing about the UBI basic universal basic income is going to be more monitored. I think this will come into play when there is a digital coin, aka Fed coin, and the purchases that you can and cannot make will be approved or non-approval, right? So it's going to be highly monitored and highly controlled about what you can and cannot buy. But I do think it will happen going into 2022. And because the World Economic Forum said people will own nothing, but they will be happy, right? People will own nothing, but they will be happy. And most people will be okay with this UBI, right? But it will keep them in a state of like cryptocurrency. You won't be able to invest in cryptocurrency or gold and silver or any assets. So it's going to keep them in a state of being impoverished or in poverty, right? So again, the website, yes, fixmycreditandcash.com. I'm logging off. Make sure you subscribe. I will go live again. We're going to go into cryptocurrency tonight and spirituality, more deep in depth into spirituality. You all have a great, great afternoon. Thank you so much, Lori, for the $11 super chat. Thank you so much, Queen. Make sure you all tune in tonight. I'm going to get into spirituality and also how to manifest from your giving from a spiritual perspective. So, and into crypto. So make sure you're tuned in and you're subscribed to the channel.